Have you ever wondered why everyone is so obsessed with edge computing these days? The fact that you're watching this video means you might be curious about what Red Hat is doing in this space. Hi, my name is Gavin McDougall. I'm a solution architect with Red Hat, and today I'd like to talk to you about edge computing. But first, let's take a look at the agenda. So today we'll start by talking about the why behind edge computing, and more specifically why Red Hat is the best partner for you in this journey. We'll then dig a little bit deeper into what exactly is edge, where is the edge. We'll spend some time on the telco edge because this is one of the industries that are at the forefront of edge computing. We'll then dig a little bit deeper into artificial intelligence and machine learning at the edge. We'll spend some time on some customer success stories, and then we'll summarize and we'll close. So why are we doing edge? And why should you be talking to Red Hat about your edge computing strategy? So let's start about the world around us and the changes that we are going through. We've been on this transformational journey for many years, but all of a sudden these initiatives are being kicked into the fastest gear possible. And we've been at the forefront of this for a long time with our involvement in the open source communities and bringing that innovation down to our customers. What's happening now is there's this explosion of data, and there's this sort of move towards how do we use this data, how do we sort of process this data, how do we act on this data. And a lot of this is fueling the AI revolution, which is something I'll spend some time with you on. But again, this is now creating a very hyper-competitive market where it's all about moving fast, moving quickly, and being agile. And again, this is the way that things work in the open source world, and these are the capabilities that Red Hat has embraced since its existence, and this is what we then share on with our customers. So before we can enable the business to drive innovation, increase productivity, and offer better products and services, we first need to enable our ops teams to provide new solutions for a variety of distributed environments. This would be from your core central office all the way through to the edge. And this in turn will enable the developers to act with speed and agility to adapt to the needs of the business. So there's potentially an endless number of use cases that could be realized by edge computing. These are some of the three main areas where we see some developments at the moment. As mentioned earlier, the telecommunication industry is in a prime position to capitalize on edge computing since they've already got the network in place. We're also seeing a lot of other industries making use of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and this ultimately needs to happen near to where the data is being produced, and also closer to where the actions need to be applied to on that data. And then we're also seeing things around enhanced experiences. So one of the use cases of edge computing that's been around for quite a few years is content delivery networks. If you've ever wondered why sometimes your Facebook photos or your YouTube videos are really fast and are able to play on demand, this is because a lot of this content is distributed around onto edge computing devices. As we move towards 5G, we'll start seeing some new applications being built into our smartphones and to our smart devices that'll be allowing and enabling things like augmented reality and also virtual reality. So as you can imagine, once we start deploying infrastructure out to various different edge locations, this has the potential to become more complicated. We're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of different nodes, maybe hundreds or thousands of clusters. How do we make sure that all of these operating systems, applications, and hardware are interoperable with each other? And how do we provide that consistent common platform across all of these different footprints? So to quote our President and CEO, Paul Cormier, He says, if edge computing is going to be a realistic future for enterprise IT, it needs to be the hybrid cloud and based on open source in order to thrive. Now, for those of you that don't know, Paul Cormier was actually in charge of our products and technology, and he was instrumental in us adopting the open hybrid cloud strategy many years ago, of which edge computing is merely just an extension. So the open hybrid cloud provides you with that common platform across all of the infrastructure layers, whether you're deploying to the public cloud, your private cloud, your own virtualization infrastructure, bare metal, all the way down to the edge. Now, this would not be possible without open source, because open source is providing that level of innovation and the platform in order for various different players in the industry to be able to collaborate and build this platform of the future. So for quite a few years now, Red Hat's vision has been based on what we call the open hybrid cloud, because we know that you're going to have workloads running in various different locations. You still have a lot of stuff on-prem. You might be trying to move some stuff into the public cloud, but we know that it's not wise to put all your eggs in one basket. So there's no reason why you should go all in with one public cloud provider. You might want to leverage multiple cloud providers. And because all the clouds are different, how do you provide that consistent layer to your developers and your ops teams? And this is where Red Hat comes in. The software we provide allows you to build that common infrastructure layer across all of the different footprints, whether it is cloud provider A, cloud provider B, your own internal infrastructure, or even co-located at a different location. So these are the three main reasons why we believe that Red Hat is the best partner for you in this journey. To start, we have a very comprehensive portfolio of products and platforms. Underpinning all of this is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which is the market leader in the Linux space, but we're also the market leader in the OpenStack space with our Red Hat OpenStack platform, which provides you with a private cloud to build cloud-native applications based on virtual machines. Then more recently, as the world moves towards cloud-native architectures using containers, we're also the market leader in the Kubernetes space with our Red Hat Openshift platform. With all of this in mind, all of these platforms that we've spoken of, they're all based on upstream open source communities, which is where we've got the largest amounts of mindshare and also influence within these communities. We work with these communities, we employ people within these communities to try and make sense of the innovation and the development that's happening in these communities, which we then in turn stabilize and make enterprise ready, and we turn into products which we can then support for our customers, so they've got peace of mind in the stability of the offerings that we're providing to them. And then most importantly is our partner ecosystem, because we know that these kind of deployments are always going to consist of multiple vendors. So the partner ecosystem that you've got around your platforms and your portfolio is extremely important as you go down this road in deploying not just open hybrid cloud, but the extension of that, which is edge computing. So here you can see that the platforms that Red Hat is providing is actually the glue that's tying your applications to the hardware that you wish to deploy. And this is where the comprehensive partner ecosystem that Red Hat brings to the table is extremely important, which gives you, the customer, the biggest amount of choice in terms of what application you want to deploy and on what hardware stack you want to deploy it on. I think it's fair to say that open source is where the innovation is happening these days. And this is quite obvious if you look at the traditional proprietary vendors that have all of a sudden done an about turn and started openly embracing open source software. The good thing is that this has been Red Hat's model since the inception of our business. And this diagram illustrates how we develop our products. So we develop them upstream in open source communities, where we employ developers and engineers to help write the code, squash the bugs, add new features, etc. We then further bring this code down into upstream communities or projects. A good example of this is Fedora, which is upstream to Red Hat Enterprise Linux, where we then have more frequent release cycles, but it allows us to get to a point where we can stabilize the code base before bringing it down to where we further curate the software, further test, further harden the software, and from that we then are able to create our products, which we supply to our customers, where we were able to support them for longer life cycles. So there's a lot more to open source than just the code. There's actually quite a specific culture within open source communities. And it's a culture of being able to collaborate with your peers, whether it's people you work with in the same company, or people you work with in the same industry, or people you work with in different companies in different countries and different cultures. The idea behind this is that we're able to put our minds together and solve shared problems faster. We do this out in the open, so there's a high level of transparency. So if we start thinking about things like security, it's very hard for bugs and or think backdoors or hidden code to slip through into the open source communities because of the visibility. We often refer to an old saying that says, give many eyes and all bugs are shallow. And this is pretty much why the open source model beats the proprietary model hands down. And by working in these open source communities with our partners, customers, and even competitors, it helps us to work towards standards and open interfaces and making things more interoperable. So now that you've got a much better idea of why organizations are pursuing edge computing, and you've also got a good idea of why Red Hat is the best partner to take you on this journey, how about we take a couple of minutes and watch an interesting video around Red Hat's approach to edge computing.
Turning data into differentiation and accelerating innovation are among the top goals of today's digital organization. And the combination of edge computing with containers and Kubernetes is fueling new technologies to help achieve them. Industries like telecommunications, manufacturing, and energy are discovering the benefits of placing intelligent applications closer to data sources to gather and analyze it faster and improve products, offer new services, lower costs, and help scale infrastructure resources to meet ever-increasing demands. But in order to deploy and manage an edge architecture that can have hundreds to thousands of locations, ensuring a consistent and secure experience for application developers and IT teams is key to a successful edge deployment. Designed to provide organizations with the ability to develop applications once and deploy them anywhere, Red Hat Openshift delivers consistency in operations and application development from the core to the edge of the network. As the industry-leading enterprise Kubernetes platform, Red Hat Openshift provides full-stack automated operations across hybrid, multi-cloud, and edge deployments, optimized for developer productivity and flexibility so that you can place your applications where it makes most sense for your business. When used in combination with other Red Hat products, like Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management for Kubernetes, our rich ecosystem of partners, and Kubernetes operators, you can build and manage your edge architecture to meet the needs of the most demanding use cases, including AI/ML for defect detection, preventive maintenance, and video analytics at scale. If you're looking to extend your infrastructure out to the edge to support new, innovative applications and technologies, Red Hat Openshift provides the consistent foundation you need to deliver applications anywhere, outpace rising customer expectations, and focus on what matters most.
So where exactly is this edge? It's a good question because it depends on who you ask. There's a lot of different industry standards bodies that have many different definitions. There's a lot of different organizations that have all their definitions as well. And to be honest with you, edge computing is not a new thing, something that we've been talking about for years. Some people might have referred to it as fog computing, multi-access edge computing, or mobile edge computing. But let's take a look and see how Red Hat sees the world in terms of edge computing. So let's start from the circle in the middle, which you could otherwise call the core of the platform or the core of the network. And this could traditionally be a telco provider core. It could be an enterprise core data center, or it could also be the public cloud that you're making use of. And as you move a little bit further to the left, this is where we start referring to this as the provider edge. Now, in a telecommunication environment, we're talking about regional data centers, we're talking about central offices, we're talking about points of presence, but we're also talking about what we refer to as the far edge, which is the point just before the network hands over to the enterprise side or the consumer side. So imagine the difference between that radio antenna and the mobile phone, which we often refer to as the last mile. This could also be the fiber that's coming to your premises or to your home. Then beyond that is where we've got the end user edge or the device edge. And this is where we would potentially have equipment on site, whether it's at a shopping mall or a manufacturing plant, in a residential environment, or even a corporate environment or a complex of sorts. And what we're doing here with this slide is we're just highlighting where Red Hat plays. And you'll notice to the far left, where we're talking about the sensors and the final devices, which might be a mobile phone or a system on a chip type device. And this is an area that we don't play in. So here you'll see that the gray parts of the edge tiers is where Red Hat is focused on. And we're able to provide you with that common execution layer from the core right through to not just the far edge of the network, past the last mile, all the way down to the device edge. So the device edge could be something like an IoT gateway. It could be a device that is doing artificial intelligence or machine learning, being able to provide data and execution very close to where it's required. So we've already spoken about the importance of a mature ecosystem in order to realize the benefits of open hybrid cloud and edge computing. Let's take a look at this next slide to see a little bit of the ecosystem that Red Hat's put around their platform for edge computing. As you can see, we've managed to build a very comprehensive ecosystem of partners around this platform, whether it's in the AI ML space or big data, application runtimes, databases, storage, networking, security, you name it. What you see here in the middle is our Openshift container platform, which is our de facto platform for our open hybrid cloud, extending all the way down to the edge. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail about the features and functionality that comes with Openshift. I'm sure that would have been covered in another session. And then just as a last point, as you can see, this slide is full of logos. Unfortunately, there's no space for other logos, otherwise there would be a lot more logos on the slide. So if we're talking edge computing, we have to give a special mention to the telecommunication providers around the world, because it's these companies that have the network. They've got core data centers, they've got regional data centers, they've got central offices, they've got points of presence, and they've got the radio access network. So the telcos are at the forefront of driving this evolution within edge computing, whether it's providing content delivery networks to distribute digital media, digital content, to whether it's about virtualizing or containerizing the radio access network, to even providing services to other industries at the edge of the network. So let's have a little bit of a look at what it looks like in terms of the telecommunication providers. So one of the trends in telecommunications is around building out a horizontal telco cloud. Some telcos might refer to this as a universal telco cloud, others maybe as a unified telco cloud. The important thing to note is traditionally the network side of the business was separate to the IT side of the business. Imagine separate silos, each doing their own thing. Strangely enough, inside those silos were more silos, which led to a lot of inefficiency and ultimately holding the telco back from moving and innovating and changing. So there's this drive and this move towards unifying what's going on in the network with what's going on in IT. And again, with the Red Hat portfolio, we're now able to provide that common execution layer to run IT applications and network applications on the same cloud. So artificial intelligence is an umbrella term that we've been using for many decades to describe the ability of a computer to think like a human. Thankfully for us, we haven't reached that point yet. So what we are doing in the artificial intelligence space is more towards what we call machine learning. Machine learning is the ability for computers to learn without being explicitly programmed. Then within machine learning, we've got a subset of that known as deep learning. And this uses layers to progressively extract higher level features from raw input and raw data. Some of these applications might be computer vision, image recognition, or even facial recognition. So Red Hat Openshift is our edge platform. It's also our platform for 5G. And as you might have guessed, it's also our platform for running artificial intelligence and machine learning workloads. We also provide what's known as the Open Data Hub, which is an online resource which includes code, knowledge, and also an OpenShift operator which you can add to OpenShift and start deploying artificial intelligence and machine learning workloads on top of the OpenShift container platform. This also then brings the ability to deploy your AI ML workloads in a DevOps methodology where you provide data scientists and developers and engineers a self-service platform to be able to provision these workloads and perform their analytics, their data cleansing, their inference, and all of these other things that are AI specific and probably beyond my level of knowledge at this point in time. We've spent a lot of time talking about the importance of the ecosystem around the platform. This slide just highlights some of the strategic partnerships that Red Hat has in the AI ML ecosystem. So let's hear a little bit more from Red Hat as to what we are doing in the artificial intelligence and machine learning space.
Every day, data is generated from billions of devices and sensors across businesses all over the world. And within that data, there's an increasingly wide range of opportunities that offer enormous value. From saving lives in healthcare, to improving safety in oil and gas exploration, to improving product quality in industrial manufacturing, the possibilities are endless. all by harnessing the power of data through artificial intelligence and machine learning-powered intelligent applications at the edge to drive innovation and inform decision-making, helping businesses discover opportunities to offer differentiated products and services, save costs, or improve their customers' experiences. But speed is everything. If large volumes of data have to go back to a central site to help make decisions, innovation and decision-making is slowed down and can limit business opportunities. That's why data needs to be processed faster at the edge. But gathering and analyzing data at the edge is not easy. AI-powered applications, data, and infrastructure can exist across hundreds to thousands of sites, and IT teams need to manage them consistently with existing resources, while developers need to be able to quickly deploy and update applications using the same processes and tools they're used to. To be successful, you need consistency and simplicity of operations at scale across all sites, from the cloud to the edge. Red Hat Openshift simplifies the deployment and lifecycle management of AI-powered intelligent applications at the edge, just like it does in the cloud. With Openshift running AI/ML applications at the edge, you can accelerate data gathering, preparation, and inferencing tasks through a consistent and secure infrastructure platform that's powered by Kubernetes and containers, the foundation of modern cloud-native development. This allows data scientists and developers to train, test, and deploy AI/ML-powered intelligent apps into the edge locations quickly, using the same tools and processes they're familiar with. And that means you can gather data at scale, discover patterns faster, and incubate ideas at the speed business demands. If you're not fast, your competitors will be. Bringing edge computing and AI/ML together with Openshift can be a powerful tool to help accelerate achieving data-driven business insights that help you turn insights into action and become more responsive to the business while reducing operational complexity. To learn more, contact us today.
Let's take a look at some of our customers' success at the edge.
The airlines worldwide sit on top of a mountain of data, and they can use that data to predict events in the future. The costs directly related to delayed flights, those can be 20, 30 million a year. The Lufthansa board knew about the consequential cost of delays and cancellations, and they wanted to see if we can deliver something of value within 100 days that can prevent some of those events.
So we immediately started in coding and developing, generating something that we can get feedback on very fast.
Aviator is the digital platform that serves the airlines.
The platform offers features like condition monitoring, where an aircraft troubleshooter can monitor the condition of an aircraft that's in the air in real time. We offer an application, it's called Reliability Management, that's used by reliability managers.
Aviator's application services are created on the Openshift container platform. The top benefit of Openshift is the freedom to deploy what you want, as fast as you want, as often as you want. Container native storage means our containers can have the storage they need in the moment they need it.
So it's not waiting for any infrastructure or anything to be provided. Just at the moment we have the idea, we can start building the product. It's the start of IT being seen differently now, because for the first time we are producing digital products for our customers.
I'm also thinking about the end customers a lot, because we're really improving the passenger experience. So what keeps us motivated working on Aviator is that we help passengers get home on time, spend more time with their families.
We're almost at the end of this presentation, but before I let you go, I'd just like to remind you of some of the key differentiators of what makes Red Hat the best partner for you on your journey towards edge computing. It starts with a solid, stable foundation. And this foundation is built on Red Hat Enterprise Linux and includes Red Hat OpenShift Container Platform. Pair this with our broad portfolio of middleware, training, services, consulting, and by doing everything in the open. Open is in our DNA. It's been part of us since we first started doing business. And it's more than just open source code. It's about open standards, open APIs, and an open way of working with our customers and partners. Last but not least is our broad ecosystem of partners, whether it's application vendors, hardware vendors, GSIs or system integrators. We are able to provide you with the most concise, complete solution for your edge computing deployments, and giving you the freedom to choose whatever application you want to run on top of it and run it on whatever hardware you want to run it on. And with that being said, thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you enjoy Forum 2020 South Africa. Goodbye.